So today I'm going to talk about what faith is and what it means and how to use it and how to let go of the fear of whatever. So I just read a little quote. So I have this, it's The Secret. I think it's probably backwards. The Secret. It's just like daily teachings, and I just flipped open to one, and it said that faith is basically believing that God has your back, and fear is thinking of the opposite. So to me, that's like the difference between love and hate. Hate is fear. Love is really all that there is just the truth. So having faith is a huge step for us as humans on this physical plane. And in order to have faith, you just have to know that, that saying that I say, everything is going to work out better than expected. It's having the actual faith and belief that that's true. Because when you say that or think that, and then you start going, I don't know if it's, how's that going to happen? And so I'm just going to give an example. Sound like a weird old lady. An example. I'm just going to give an example of how that works. So when we had to move, we moved from a house that I just absolutely loved. And we got a call, and our landlord said, look, we have to come back home because my husband lost his job and we can't find any other work and it's super expensive here. They were living in San Diego and they needed to come home and they needed their house back. So they were giving us 30 days. And it was actually February 1st. And they said they needed it by March 1st, which was more like 28 days. We are friends with our landlords, our previous landlords, but it was just kind of like, okay, like how the heck is this going to happen? And then like a week later, we all got this horrible flu, like seriously, like 104 temperature, down for a week. So it was just like going from like panic and denial, because I was in total denial. I did not want to leave that house. They were talking about selling it. So I was talking to a mortgage, broker about what it would take to get a loan to buy it, but we decided that wasn't a smart move. So we ended up just looking for a place. Well, we had a dog and a cat, and we didn't have super good credit. We had great rental history, and so we just wanted our dog. And most of the property managements in the area were like, you have to pay all this extra money to have a pet, even like extra monthly on your rent to have a pet. And we were just like, oh my God, how are we going to do this? And so I was just kind of in a bit of a panic, and that's like an understatement. I was freaking out. I just didn't want to leave that house. I loved that house. And, but the reality was setting in. We had to find another house. So I was kind of freaking out, and I called, our landlord and talked to the husband. And I was just like, I don't know how we're going to do this. Like literally, I don't know how we're going to do this. I don't know how we're going to do it financially. I don't know how we're going to do it. There's the rentals in this area are just going through the roof as far as price. The property managers are ridiculous to deal with. And he just said, Shelly, you have to have faith. Like on this end, this move has been like everything's gone as planned. We need to sell a car, and we sold it, and we sold it to these great people. And we needed to sell, I think it was like a boat or an ATV, and it like sold with no hitches. And that didn't sound right. Maybe it had a hitch. I don't know, but it just went off without a hitch. Anyways, he was just like, you have to have faith. And he is religious, and that's not how I am, but I totally understood what he said. And I was just like, you're right. I'm doing this all wrong. I know what I need to do. I need to do this from the inside out. And so that night I just went to bed going, the perfect house. I like laid there with my eyes closed. I fell asleep visualizing the perfect house, the perfect situation, and everything. So the next day we were going to actually go look at apartments because we were just kind of, on that end of the spectrum. We were kind of on our last, we're just like, we got to find something. Even if it's an apartment for 6 months, we got to go find something. But I was just like, no, I have faith. We're going to find the perfect place. Where I just went out with that attitude. We're going to find the perfect place. And so we were driving to go to like an open house of like a townhouse, which is pretty much an apartment just attached. It's like a house attached to another house. So anyways. So we were on our way and we saw this for rent sign on a corner. And we were like, we got to come back to this. So we went and looked and we drove around. We actually couldn't find the open house. So we came back to this little rent sign. It was just a for rent sign, just popped into the ground, like 1.5 feet tall on a corner. And we turned down that street and the for rent sign was on the corner house on the next block. And we went around the corner and the landlord was in the driveway. And I rolled down the window and said, hey, can we look at your house? And he said, sure, come on in. And he said goodbye to what I found out was one of our neighbors who does landscaping. And he showed us the house. And he said, there's one guy ahead of you that I have to give priority, but here's the application. I'm like, what's the application fee? He goes, I don't charge an application fee. So here we are, a private landlord. He's not going to charge us an application fee. I'm like, what's the deposit? He said, the deposit is equal to the rent. And I'm like, great. I said, we have a dog. And he goes, that's fine. Most families do. I'm fine with that if you have good references. We had great references. And 2 days later, we signed the lease. And so that's what faith is just having that knowing that it's going to work out and working from the inside out. If you look at the world and you look at all the troubles and you look at your checkbook and you look at your situation and you focus on all the problems and all the negativity, that's what you're going to get. But if you look within and you look at all the possibility and you look out into the world and see the amazing people that are out there and the amazing situations that are out there, that gives you faith. That gives you faith in mankind. It gives you faith in God, love, the universe, whatever that is for you. Look, the sun just came out. That's awesome. I didn't plan that. Now it's going back. Anyways, I just wanted to talk about faith because I think a lot of people lose that part of it and they don't understand that faith can take time, and it's definitely from the inside out. It's not from the outside in. It's like that whole thing, well, when I see it, I'll believe it. It's the opposite. When I believe it, I'll see it. And so another good little analogy for that is like when you plant a seed. I just recently heard a speaker say, talk about the seed. Well, if you get a seed and you have no idea what the germination is for that seed and you just stick it in the soil, after a couple days, you might lose faith and just be like, whatever, and stop watering it. It could have just been right at the surface, ready to pop through. But because you quit giving it attention and giving it positivity, which is sunlight and water, you killed it. And so just think of your dreams and your wants and your needs and, what you're looking forward to is those little seeds. Just keep watering them and giving them sunlight and giving them energy, and they will blossom. And having faith that even though it's going to take a couple days for that little seed to turn into a plant, and it's going to take a couple months for that little plant to turn into a cantaloupe or a carrot or a pepper or whatever you've planted, it's like that with your dreams. And that's where the faith is. The faith is in the patience, knowing that plant is going to produce a melon or a vegetable or a flower or a tree. And you know that, and you know that it takes time. So do that with yourself too. So I hope that helps. I hope you all have a great Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday. I don't know if I'm actually going to eat tacos today. Somebody said, happy Tuesday. What are your plans for the day? And I just put tacos. So anyways, have a great day. And tomorrow is 4th of July. I think I am going to do a video tomorrow because I'll be up. So anyways, push the like button if you like this video. Comment if you have any ideas or comments or suggestions. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you know when I'm live. And yeah, bye.